And those rides through town are nice.
Yes.
But they lack the intensity and rush of BMX racing. And this weekend, fans are buzzing over the USA BMX Carolina Nationals at Novant Health BMX Supercross track in Rock Hill, South Carolina. This is a USA Cycling Championship event, and it's slated for March 31st through April 2nd, with 2,000 entrants expected to suit up for the race. Novant Health BMX Supercross track is a hot venue. It caters to riders of all ages and skill level. Now, looking back, 9, 10, 11-year-old Rory would love to be in a BMX race.
Oh, God, here we go.
When I was a kid, I used to love riding my BMX bike, trying to race and wishing I could do the jumps and running around the track like these guys. So for us to be talking about this race, yeah, looking back, 12-year-old Rory is looking at Rory today like 2 thumbs up, all giddy.
I bet your 12-year-old Rory was just as geeky as the adult Rory.
But now I'm a little bit geeky with a cool demeanor.
Yeah, you are. Joe cool.
But what is cool are the riders, various events, and the links set at this track. The elite men's track is over 1,300 feet. The elite women's track is over 1,200 feet. Now, how do you think you'd fare on that track?
On the 1,200 feet track?
Yeah.
I won't fare at all because I won't do it. Do they have a bunny jump or a bunny track or
maybe you should stick to the amateur start hill.
Yeah.
That's only 16.4 feet.
That's still a little bit too much, but, do they got a little something else?
That's it.
Well, I sit on the sideline and cheer.
There we go. Now, because there's a lot of men and women competing here, and they can handle this track.
One of the riders expected to do well is Olympic gold medalist Connor Fields.
We caught up with Fields, who is back after suffering a sprained ankle in February, and he is ready to rule this weekend and beyond. We're only 6 months removed from your gold medal performance at the Summer Olympics in Rio. So how has life been for you now that the term Olympic champion precedes your name?
The first couple months were pretty crazy. They were really busy, lots of media and appearances and things like that. But it's still pretty awesome to have that credential next to your name. I think it just legitimizes, what you do, and nobody can ever say, who's that guy?
That's so true. What do you know about this track, and what's been your preparation for the BMX Carolina Nationals?
Well, I've actually been out there 4 or 5 times before. We've raced there every year since 2014. This year's a bit different than most. I'm actually coming off of an injury that I sustained in February. I sprained my ankle real bad, but I made the most of the situation, and I'm still feeling pretty confident that I can go out and perform.
So, with that, you overcoming an injury, what would a win at this event do in terms of a springboard for continued success, not only on the track, but off the track for you?
I think, every race that goes by, you always want to perform well. It's a lot easier when you've got some momentum and you've been performing well throughout the year. Just to keep that up and keep that going, anytime that you have a couple of bad races in a row, it's always a lot harder to come back from that and just kind of regain that confidence. So for me, I'd like to go out and have a good performance just to kind of move on past the injury. And then just also, we have the World Cup season coming up, the World Championships in July, which isn't too far away. So, any sort of confidence you could build now is going to carry over to those events as well.
This is a prime race on the cycling schedule.
There's going to be a lot of great riding from all the folks in the field.
If you're in the Rock Hill area or in nearby Charlotte, get your tickets today. You won't be disappointed. 2017 BMX Carolina Nationals, Novant Health BMX Supercross track.
I know you'll love this question. Is there anything that screams the great outdoors more than opening day in Major League Baseball?
Nope. Spring training ends on April 1st, and the first pitch of the 2017 season will be tossed on Sunday, April 2nd by Tampa Bay's Chris Archer as the Rays host the Yankees. Opening day features a triple header of games. After the Yankees and Rays, San Francisco faces Arizona, and the nightcap, the defending world champion Cubs play at rival St. Louis.
I love baseball.
Yes.
I played softball.
Yes.
But I like watching it live more than on TV. To me, games are just way too long.
Well, Major League Baseball knows this is a problem, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not the only one that has issues with the length of games. Now, I know that thought of starting the runner at second, the beginning of the 10th inning, we had talked about that back in February, is not the answer. But this year marks the first time the Cubs take the field as the defending champs since 1909. They're still loaded and should be a force again in 2017. Now, you may remember the Cubs beat the Cleveland Indians in 7 games in the World Series. I got the Tribe going back to the postseason this year, too, along with the Cubs. I like how Boston, Baltimore, and Toronto, they're going to duke it out again in the AL East, just like last year. Not much changing on that end. And in the West, you're always saying everything is bigger in Texas. I hear that a lot from you.
It is.
The Rangers are a tough out. But my surprise team out of the West, Seattle Mariners. Over in the National League, the senior circuit, Washington will be in the mix. And with Bryce Harper in the lineup, he's going to be an MVP candidate again. Out on the West Coast, the Dodgers and the Giants, they're the team to beat.
I hear everything that you're just saying.
Yeah.
But what about your Mets? You're a kid in the candy store when they're on TV or here in Atlanta.
The Mets have one of the best rotations, if not the best, in the majors. Syndergaard, DeGrom, Matz, Harvey, Lugo. They followed up their World Series appearance last year with a wild card berth. They lost to the Giants. That broke my heart.
Yeah, I did.
We want to win it all this year, so I'm going to take off my objective journalist hat, put on my fan hat, and scream, "Let's go Mets." And they open up the season at home, Citi Field, against the Braves. Speaking of the Braves, the hometown team here, they unveiled their new facility this year, SunTrust Park. Now, you've seen it from the outside. What'd you think of the new area?
It's nice.
Yeah.
I like how it's a hot entertainment area mixed with shopping and dining. You know, that's cool for me.
That's the battery part that they're building.
Oh, yeah. So anytime you put buying stuff and eating stuff together, it's cool with me.
All right.
I like how it's a nice housing built around the stadium. Now, it costs an arm and a leg. According to a report in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the monthly rent at one of those spots, what you think? You think it's a lot?
The residence.
Yes.
Between, what was it?
$1,800 and $3,900. Nah, not for me.
Now, the area for SunTrust Park is my old stomping grounds. Traffic is already brutal where I-75 and 285, the Beltline, connect. It's going to be even worse there with the Braves playing 81 home games. But it's a nice new facility, and the newness of it is going to have everybody there, but the parking and traffic is going to be horrendous. Speaking of stadiums, you dug up some information, some interesting facts on food and drinks at ballparks.
You know how I am about my coins. So on GoBaconRates.com, they posted an interesting rate for prices from 2016.
Okay.
The cheapest hot dog is $1.
That's good. Now that's decent.
No, that ain't. You can buy a pack of hot dogs for $1. But at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, you can get a stadium hot dog for $1. Now that's the cheapest, so...
And think about that. You're already out at a venue. It's not the same as the grocery store.
You're
so
right.
That's really good for $1.
I got to keep telling myself that. Your boys, though, the Mets, they charge $6.25 for a hot dog.
That's New York City for you.
New York City could keep that. The cheapest beer, though. Check this out. I know all the fellas go like this. The cheapest beer was in Cleveland and Arizona at $4. What? $4?
That's average.
I'm like seeing all this again in my head. Like, are y'all crazy? But okay, we'll go with that. The Cubs, Red Sox, and Phillies charge $7.75 for the least expensive beer at their stadium.
Now that's pretty pricey there. If you're just getting a can that they're gonna pour into a cup. Remember, you're talking about outside venue and entertainment, so that comes with the territory. Based
on GoBaconRates.com's data, the average cost for two people are $77.92 for tickets alone.
All right.
$8.73 for two hot dogs. $11.89 for two beers. And $15.89 just the park. That's a total of $114.43. Now, if you're like me, because you do savings for the change, that's $115. That's my mental math kicking in, and those coins will be staying in my pocket and in my bank account. TV will be on blast.
It's entertainment. If you're going to go to an amusement park,
you're right.
You're going to basically spend about the same thing if you're going to go anywhere else like that. And compared to what the NFL charges, this is a walk in the park.
Right.
So, nevertheless, like the song says, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Baseball is back. I'm all for it. Opening day, Sunday, April 2nd, game 1 of 162.
I know we previously said that everything is bigger in Texas. And you know I'm a Southern girl. Sports are a big part of Southern culture. The passion associated with high school and college sports is serious.
Like Bernie Mac said, bust his head to the white meat serious. Now we know football lives in the penthouse here in the South, but a sport gaining some upward mobility is lacrosse. Major League Lacrosse is the premier league, and our local franchise, the Atlanta Blaze, are primed for their second season of play. But before their opening face-off versus the Ohio Machine on April 22nd, the squad will host their Dodge, Defend, and Save Skills Clinic. Now, this clinic is open to players of all ages and runs March 30th through the 31st up at Kennesaw State University.
So we have Blaze head coach David Huntley here joining us to talk about the clinic and the team's outlook for 2017.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us on our show today. Just wanted to ask you, how long has the team hosted a lacrosse clinic?
Well, the Atlanta Blaze, we were a expansion team last year in the 2016 season. So this is our second year. And we ran a number of clinics and workshops last year during the summer and a little bit into the fall. And we've been offering them out over the winter period, and we'll continue to offer them through our season and into the summer as well this year.
Talk about how lacrosse has grown over the 10 years or so in the South.
Well, I probably couldn't have grown up any further from the South than where I grew up in Toronto, Canada. And I was involved in lacrosse pretty much through my whole childhood. But now with the growth of lacrosse in the Atlanta area has been absolutely phenomenal. It's booming in Florida with all the high school teams. I believe there's 94 high school teams in the state of Georgia. So Florida, very robust. Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina's coming on, Alabama's coming on, and I think it's a sport that could work very well in the South.
Break down some of the details of what will be taught during the clinic.
Well, during our clinics, and we have two, I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. We do what are called workshops, where it's a very intense, almost a weekend situation where we actually coach coaches and interact with their teams or their program members and their players over a day and a half, and we do that for large programs. And then we have our clinics that we're doing, which are more individual based. Mm-hmm. So what will happen there is young players will be able to get some instruction and some exposure to not just from our coaches, but also from what I believe are some of the
the greatest players in the world that we have planned for us in Major League Lacrosse and the Atlanta Blaze.
The 2017 season